let us work on animation. The first animation I'm going to work on is fade me. You know, fading, when there's something fade, come up, open, fade. That's what I want to do right now. So for you to work with animation, you have to introduce a kind of script that would call at. So introduce it at keyframe, okay? At keyframe. And remember, some system will not work at keyframe like this. So for it to work, you use at dash zero dash keyframe. You don't use at dash most dash keyframe. You try it, anyone that work for you will work for you. Because you know this is a CSS3, and some browsing doesn't have something to work with CSS3. So for that reason, you have to try any of they are all the same thing, but you have to try any of them that want the one that work and use it. So first of all, let's try the number one at keyframe. If it didn't work, we go to this and continue using the method, see the one that will work for us. Okay, it might work for you, it might not work for me, it might work for me, it might not work for you. So that's why you have to try any of the three. So at keyframe, what is name we are giving the animation? Let's give him a name, fade me. Okay, fade me. At keyframe, fade me. Or let's just use faded. At keyframe, faded. Let's be faded animation. Then you give your guy to your code browser, and here I want to discuss this fading that you want to fade at what percent. It's always 2, either when it's coming up or when it's going out. So let's say 0 and 100%. So at 0%, how do you want the fade me to work? At 100%, do you want it to work? That's what that is just talking about. Don't worry, by the time we'll practice it to understand it. So just write at 0%, leave your gap, and open another kit browser, bring it down. Here we'll now talk about opacity, because that is opacity has to deal with the fading. Okay, opacity should be at 0%. Let's put it at 1. Okay, you know opacity always 1 and 0, right? So why you come over again, bring your mouse down at 100%. At 100%, what will it be? So write 100%. 100%. When it's 100%, what should be our opacity? So you also give a gap, open your code browser, bring it down at 100%. Let's opacity should be 0. Okay, opacity should be 0. Okay, opacity should be 0. So it should be 0 and 1. So let's now. So for it to work, you now want to come down, and then which box you want us to use this for? Let's try it with box 1, and that is when the idea of ID come on board. You'll be using class or true. If you use class, which is boss, whatever we do now, we apply to all the bosses. But I want us to do each boss, use animation for different animation for each bosses. So start with box 1. So since you are going to give them unique type of animation on each bosses, you have to use the ID. And what's the ID? ID for box 1 is box 1. So you type it box 1. Please let's label our bosses that we know our bosses should be box 1. Be box 1. If you didn't label yours before, just label it now, okay? This should be box 2. This should be box 2. So I will know the bosses that we are using. Why this should be box 3. This should be box 3. Or this should be box 4. This should be box 4. And the last box we're using is box 5. Okay, box 5. So let's start with box 1. For box 1, you have to use faded animation. So, and don't forget, whatever you put here is what you put on your CSS. CSS, once any little mistake, it would be the capital letter or small letter or comma, it will change the whole style. So you have to be careful, because you have to be careful and make sure that you do exactly what you did there. Okay, so let's now go back to CSS. So let's now work on box 1. Remember that for ID you use this code hash, then box 1. Okay, box 1. Then your space as usual, code browser, bring it down. Then once you've done that, you scroll down. Let's continue. So here you have bunch of animation rules that you want to set up. Let's start with animation name. Okay, animation name. If you check very well, just look at how the whole thing is displaying. That's what I like JS Code. You have to have animation timing function, animation duration, animation is that we're going to work on now, animation fill mode, animation duration count, animation duration, animation play state, and others. Let's start animation name. Animation name. What is the name? Remember the name you gave him is faded. So you put the name faded. The spelling should be correct. There should be any mistake. If you make any mistake, it will also affect your work. So make sure everything is okay. Okay, then you scroll down, go to the next one. Done with animation name. So the next one should be animation. After animation name, animation timing function. Let's animation duration. Duration is how many hours, how many minutes you want the animation to work. You put how many minutes or hours that you want the animation to. So we do animation duration. Animation duration, let's say 5 seconds. Okay, let it be 5 seconds. Okay, 5s. Then after animation duration of 5 seconds, we now go ahead. Same animation. This one around animation timing function. Okay, animation timing function. Okay, let's make this our animation timing. Let's make it linear. Let's make it linear. Okay, let's make it linear. Let's make it linear. Then we also have, there are so many, but we just choose some that are very important. Okay, let's do animation iteration count. And this we have to do how many times if we count. Animation iteration count, how many times if we display go, display it is 4 times, can do 0 times, or can do 10, 20 times, as many times as you want, but I want to use infinity. So let's use infinity, okay? Let's use infinity. So if you're able to do this, always save your work. Let's run it. Remember, if you work, if you didn't run, that means it's okay. If you didn't run, then we have to go over and check some other things as well, like other one I show you using at most and the rest of them. Okay, so let's scroll and see how if it's working. Okay, it didn't work with my system. That means we have to use another type and see how that will go. Okay. Now let's watch our animation in action. Do you see what happened? Look at our box. Once what is going on, it has turned full circle. It will soon change color because that's what we say. Remember, we put an background color. We say brown. It will turn brown. Also, say animation from blue to brown. So let's watch it as the scene is going on. Let's restart it and watch and see how it will work. You see it? Let's see it. You see it? See it working? See it? You see it changing color? Do you see it changing color, animating? Changing color. Now it's turned a full circle. And come back to the brown we put it. So this animation has worked. If you're able to do yours like this, congratulations. Let's continue. Okay, let's go. So let's add animation direction. Animation direction, and we put at reverse. Okay, if you put animation direction reverse, it will go full circle. Okay, it will move from the circle it was and then reverse again to another circle. Okay, let's do it and watch how it should be reversed. Okay, should be reversed. Ctrl S for save. Before I do Ctrl S for save, let's watch, because I want to, as we are doing, we are watching it, we are seeing how it's working, seeing how it's displaying. But that is the beauty of all these things we are doing. Okay, let me bring it here so I can open the live server for us. So as the thing is going, we are watching it live. Okay. Yes, I want to be watching it live and see how it's going. Let me scroll down there. Yeah, animation direction will say it should be reversed. So let's save it. Let's save it and see how it will work. Save. It will go full circle. You see it? It come up full circle and reverse. It go full circle and reverse. You see it? Go full circle and reverse. These are what's supposed to do with JavaScript and the rest of them. But with little CSS, with little coding, little addition of script, like this at WebKit -keyframe, it's not just CSS, but advanced CSS. So you have to do this, I will tell you congratulations. Let's continue and do more on animation. Okay, let's continue. Now let's move from reverse to alteration. Okay, instead of using animation reverse, let's use animation alteration. Okay, so let's see, to now alternate reverse. Let's do alternate. Okay, so from this alternate, we move full circle, reverse, and alternate it. Move full circle and alternate it. Let's save it so that you can see what we're talking about. Ctrl S. So you see how it will go. See it? We go full circle, complete circle, and then see it coming fully, then it will alternate. Instead of reversing, it will alternate. You see it? Alternate. You see it? So this is working. Let's continue on animation. Let's want to know animation. Please follow me, practice along with me. Don't just watch. As I'm doing it, do it so I can be able to learn it very well. Now I want our animation to move. We want it to move, change direction, move back and front. Okay. So for it to move, still come over here. Still come over front. Remember we are working at work bit under border radius after background color brand. Now here you try top. Okay, want to be top. Top. Let's make the top 0 pieces. Top 0 pieces. So you should move from at the top at the beginning from 0 pieces. Then that should be 0 pieces from the beginning. Okay. So you want the animation to move. So for us to achieve that, you make your top 0 pieces. Then you come over to the left. After the top, the left too should be 0 pieces. Okay, left 0 pieces. That is where it's moving from 0 pieces to, let's say, 100 pieces. So here should be top 100 pieces. Top, make it 100 pieces. 100 pieces. And also the same thing with the left. The left should be 100 pieces. Okay, left 100 pieces, so that it will work, it will move. So make your left 100 pieces. Just type the way I'm typing it. Left should be 100 pieces. So top 100 pieces for left and the top. Let's save our work and then see how it goes. Okay, Ctrl S for save as usual. Ctrl S for save. Now our animation will move. And make it bigger so I see it. See the way it will work. You see it. See it. So the next we want to do that is we want it to move around, move back and front, back, and that's what I want you to do now. So join me as we do that straight away. For us to achieve that goal for our animation moving around, we have to put position. Okay, so put the position as relative. Position relative. Let me explain once again what I did. Remember your border radius before, which is 40 pieces. Just straight down from. You bring it straight down on your top, make top 0 pieces, left 0 pieces. So it's moving from these 0 pieces to 100 pieces. That's what it's moving from 0 pieces to 100 pieces left, from 0 pieces to 100 pieces top. Okay, so once you achieve this top 0, left 0, you come over to top 100 pieces, left 100 pieces. Then you come over to animation inbox. Under animation hash inbox, no name of this is for your ID. Okay, you make position relative and every other thing remain the same. So save your work and let's see how this will flow. Right, so save your work now. Are you seeing the movement? Is your own moving like this? It will leave its position, and as it's going, it's changing colors. Okay, you see it moving from zero direction down to 100 pieces here. Then it will also go back. You see him going back. When it on full circle, we start going back. You start going back, going back, going back, going back till you get to 0%. Okay, if you want to achieve this, congratulations. Let's continue with our animation. Okay, let's work with animation timing function. Animation timing function enable you to go slowly, go easily, just like the way if you are building a website, you see some of these plugins that you from there able to choose ease in, ease out under animation. Let me show you live and direct how you can do that on your own. So for that to be accomplished, you use animation timing function. Okay, animation timing function. So animation timing function, let's choose ease in and out. You can choose every other percentage, but let's use ease in and out. And let's see how this will go. And for you to see very well, let me increase this. Let me increase the animation duration to like let's take it to 12 seconds. Let it do for like 12 seconds. Okay, so I can able to see it very well. Okay, so that is it. Let's save our work. Let's save our work and see how it goes. Let's save our work. So you come over here, you see it going easing in and out. Now let's back stand. It will now start coming. Just watch the way it will be moving this time around, unlike before. It will be moving easily, coming in slowly, a little bit fast, a little bit slowly. till it get to that 100 pixels. You cannot leave its position because it's relative position. You also ease back again. You see him going back slowly, going back, changing colors as it's going. And when you get there, this is animation is in and out. Let's continue on animation. There's still more animation for you to learn today. Let's continue because I'm with you. And at the end of today's class, you'll be able to be through with anything CSS animation. Remember, for this to work, it must be CSS3. And also remember, it's not all browsers that work with CSS3. You have to make sure that your browser is at least Chrome, and the Chrome should be up from 40.0%. Otherwise, not up to 40.0, it might not work. You can Google it to know the percentage that can work with CSS3, and make sure that you download the Chrome that can actually work with CSS3. So let's do more on animation. We are still on. You can actually use a shorthand to write all these things we are seeing. Instead of writing position this, animation that, you can use a shorthand. So to use a shorthand, all you do is you start with the first word, which is animation. You write animation. Okay, you start with write the animation, then you start with the second one. This time around, don't put all this, you don't need them again. You start with the second one, which is the name box 1. Then you start with the other one, which is how many seconds are you doing? 12 seconds. Then you move again, you go to the next one, which is you can use other animation timing function. You can use ease in and out as with linear. So let's use linear. You go with linear, go with linear. Then you go to the next one. The next one is how many animation delay, which is 2 seconds. You type 2 seconds. Then you move again to the animation count, which is 4. You write 4. And the last one is alternate reverse, or just alternate. Okay, you can use alternate reverse, or you just use alternate. Okay, so this is, instead of you writing all this animation, you just use this straight away, and it's going to work perfectly well. I'm going to explain. See it. See how it's working. So you can use any method. You can either go writing them one after the other, or just choose that method, write everything once, and it will still give you the same result. Okay, so let's continue. Let's go to box 2, 3, and 4 and choose different animations for all of them. More on animation. Now let's try fade me. So let's continue more on our animation. One situation where, for example, if you're in some website, notice that sometimes we fade in and out. Fade in. So how do we get that? Let's do it. See what I did? Same at keyframe fade me. Okay, and 0% opacity should be 1. At 100% opacity should be 0. So from opacity 0% to 100%. By the time you get to 100%, it will turn back to 0. So it will fade in and out. And don't forget what I'm doing. The same animation name is fade me. Animation duration is 4 seconds. Animation iteration count should be infinite. And animation timing function is linear. Don't forget these names. I told you that here is where you give him a kind of rules that must be obeyed. The name is the name you are using for the animation, which is fade me. Then for this opacity to work, you have to choose how many seconds you want it. Duration has to do with how many seconds you want it to last. Should it last for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds? I choose 4 seconds. You can choose any number of seconds you want. Then if you come down again to animation iteration count, that is to count. Do you want to be infinite? Do you want it to be loop? Do you want it to just any way you want it? Is it 4, 10, 15 seconds or hours? You put it that way. I want to be infinite. Then animation timing function has to deal with whether it's going to be linear or it's going to be non-linear. So anyway you like, you choose it. And once that is chosen, let's now go and see if what we done is right. If it's right, you will see it. It will work perfectly well. And let's check it. Wow, congratulations. If you're able to get this, then congratulations. If you see it's working very well, everything is okay. You see it coming in and out. See it? You see? It will fade completely off and then comes back again. Congrats if you're able to read this place. Let's continue on our animation. Okay? If you have been able to accomplish most of the things we learned today, then I will tell you congratulations. Then in our next class, we do more on CSS animation. We do more on CSS animation and transition, and then proceed to the next stage. So see you in the next class where we're going to do more on CSS animation. But please kindly subscribe to my channel, like, share, comment. And feel free to ask questions. If you are confused, ask questions and I'll explain to you in detail. And don't always forget, Google is your friend. And also the one I showed you the other time, where you can also go and do a game. You are playing a game, but you are learning CSS, you are learning coding. So these are things that will help you in growing your career as a programmer or software developer. Once again, see you in my next class. Don't forget to spread that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and see you in the next class.